Division 1 time, ladies! So, we're still looking at the amateur scene, but instead of looking at the bottom tier players, we're actually looking a little bit higher up now. So, Division 1, the division just underneath Division S, is playing today in a best of 3 series for Heroes Launch. And on the left side, Meme Theme with Bibo on Rexa, Kelvin on Anubarak, the Cockroach on Tacida, Nox on Malfurion, and Dino is playing Tracer in the first game. Interesting composition, considering that it's a Anubarak as the main tank for them. But on the other side, Hui Polaki, or Polaki, something like that. Or with the red team, with Balsa on Reyna, the Polish team with Wilq on ETC, Devsio on Chromie, Dylan Brightwing, and Richu is playing Uther. Alrighty, so there we go. Honestly, I gotta admit that there is a little bit of a lost opportunity here because Cockroach is not on Anubarak. And I feel with that name, you have to go for the bot. Either you need to go for Anubarak or you need to go for Zagara. That's the two choices that you have. He didn't pick either, so that's a lost opportunity right there, and he needs to be called out for it. Which we now officially did. But yeah, both of those teams have players that actually made it into Division S. By the way, just in case that you were not aware, to my knowledge, and I might be wrong here, but I remember it that way, players that play in Division S, if they want, they can still also be part of a Division 1 team. So the two are not, since you don't really move up, there's always qualification tournaments. So the two leagues are not directly connected in the way that you move from one league to another. There's always qualification tournaments for it. So again, to my knowledge, I might be wrong on that, but I think I remember that from Season 1. Most of the players are usually not really up for that because it's obviously added stress. But for some of them, they play that game. Well, as I say, we have actually Uther as well, side laner, main tank, depending on where you want to see him. We also have the Fruit Fly in play, so it's a bit weird, but it's obviously a bit of a counter against Tracer, who comes in with an immediate attempt to take down Uther. And Uther is dead. Uther down, Dino already zipping around here. And I gotta admit that, ooh, nice, Chromie. She kills Tracer, but goes down too, so now we have 2 kills against 1. Bit of a lead for the meme theme. It's a little bit interesting to see how Hui Polaki is actually currently drafting this, because with that side lane or main tank Uther they're currently playing here, plus Brightwing on top of it, they have actually a huge amount of stuns that they can use to try and control Tracer. And obviously Dino is really good on these agile heroes. Zeratul is probably his best hero for a reason, but Tracer is out there as well. And therefore, now we have Polymorph, you have stuns on Uther, could even see the Divine Storm, unless they want to go into the Holy Cow and get the Divine Shield onto the Mosh Pit. Camps get taken, this time a little bit later here, actually. So in this case, the way that they are currently playing this out is just by attempting to make sure that they're getting... well, it was about the healing beacon first, and then going into the camp over here. So that's currently the play. Richu gets already attacked, and yeah, well, it will need to heal himself up a little bit. But also, on the side of Jimmy, Ace in the Hole on level 1, with the talents, there's not really too many surprises here. We have, for example, Hunter-Gatherer for Rexa, which I explained many times in the past, has now more or less become the standard talent on level 4, outside of a few instances, especially in the lower leagues, where you still see something like Animal Husbandry, for example, taken. But also the adjustment with Tacida, which you kind of make mainly when you're playing with Tracer in that role. Kala's Embrace, so Life Leech over Armor, has now been taken to allow Dino to jump a little bit deeper into those backlines. And especially for Tracer, the lineup is actually quite solid, with the support being Malfurion. The only thing that really surprises me a little bit is Kelvin on Anubarak, because this is not really the hero that you think about immediately when you're looking at Volskaya Foundry. And especially since they don't have any burst damage outside of Tracer trying to get a bomb connected, it's not really a setup where you're going to do too much. Brightwing, by the way, already cheating a little bit here, and going straight in for the reduction here, so that wasn't a lot of damage against the Fruit Fly. But yeah, that Anubarak pick is a little bit strange, because normally when you go for Anubarak, your idea is to just jump in deep into enemy lines, trying to hit the back line, follow up with a stun or a root, which obviously can happen with Malfurion, but then you are looking for a mage that can drop the damage, and we don't have that here. It's still a nice setup against Chromie if they can reach her, but generally speaking, with all of the stuns that we have on the side of the Polish team, I think it's going to be a little bit of a rough game for Meme Theme. Unless Tracer is able to completely pop off, and then I come back to the amount of CC that is stacked from the Polish team here. So little bit curious to see how this is going to go for them, because right now I am doubting the success rate of this composition a little bit, considering what they're up against. We have already a pretty heavy engage setup for Anuburak, as he also goes into his level 4 and his level 7, going straight for the burrow charge here and trying to reach that back line, but he always needs to make that together with Tracer, and right now they're losing heavily on the first checkpoint. It's 94 points against currently 47. Here comes the play attempt. Overtime has already been announced and they're starting to go in. Chromie has her ult obviously ready. Is working on the level 1 and sitting on 13 stacks. She's nearly done with it. Kelvin gets body blocked and there it is. The cockroach is down. Well, one of them. Already, Protector claimed, and well, with that they might actually be able to get also a kill against Snyder. No, nearly a kill against Bossa. Nice! Oh, and Tracer gets away. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I spoke too soon there, apparently. Yeah, and they actually rotate down to the bottom now. So I think this is actually something that they had. Okay, they didn't really intend to rotate bot side. And now the Protector is saying like, well, I didn't really want to go here. I kind of wanted to walk towards the top and destroy the fort in the middle. Sorry, the wall in the middle. So yeah, they are improvising a little bit here. Trying to make a play for the fort, whereas the rest of the team is still making the thing happen. I've never seen a Protector making that play, trying to go in from the side as nobody is defending and then get that damage in. But lanes are still being pushed and they're getting the entire setup here. So the traditional rotation would have been topside, obviously, to go for the top fountain and give them a bit of an upper hand during the fight for the next objective. But instead they're going for the middle now, take this one down. They already lost some time getting the Tracer kill, moving down to the bottom. But they have level 10 now. Not really a massive lead in experience, and this is actually why they're falling back and saying, you know what, maybe we shouldn't go hard on that support camp, because level 10 is going to hit for meme theme as well, and we might just wait a little bit and then play around that for now. Divide Storm, by the way, has been taken by Richu, so they're going for the extra stance against Tracer, and Dino will have to really toe the line here. I don't know if he can. Oh, the mosh pit! Dance, baby, dance! But Tracer gets the kill against Chromie. Gets taken down by Jimmy a second later. Having the direct auto attacks against Tracer is obviously quite helpful. And there's the second killer as we have Malfurion falling. The Cockroach, well, sorry, Anuburak gets attacked too. But he at least doesn't die. And as it stands, 6 kills against 3 give Holy Poluki a pretty good setup. I think they're gonna call Polaki. Which is honestly, if you, to the German ear, that is a little bit offensive to Polish people, but since they're all Polish, I expect that is, well, maybe not necessarily intended, but I think that's the pronouncement that they're going for here. So, yeah, Holy Polaki at this point, in the best of 3, is getting off to a good start, but they lose Jimmy now. At least Chromie is able to get out of the way. So let's see how this is going to pan out for them. It's 4 kills against 6. There's obviously still a bit of an advantage, but we also have Mosh Pit. I kind of have to talk about this for just a second. I mean, they have Brightwing, so there is a global that they can now run. And it's all about the Tracer control. I mean, the main damage, as you should be able to see here, comes actually in this case from Rexa. Tracer sitting at 17,000 in a pretty good spot too, though. So that really helps. And it's really the main damage dealer when you go for single target. So that will, in the long run, become a problem. If you control the damage dealer as well as the red team has done thus far, then it's going to be really difficult for Meme Team to get any kills out there, which is obviously the idea behind the draft now. With ETC in particular, you have even more control thanks to the power slide. ETC hasn't died yet, neither has Brightwing. So the Fruit Fly is so far successful. The ult's actually getting unleashed, at least a few of them. They're trying to go for the camp, and they can't quite make it happen. Nope. Anuburak came straight in with a cocoon and dropped that as well to secure them the objective. Well, no, with the objective, I mean, of course, the item. Yeah, but here's ETC completing his quest. Chromie has already completed her, so there's a lot of quest talents that already give their reward over. There's level 13 talents now for a whole Polaki. And, I mean, honestly, guys, they're looking strong here right now. They've taken the fort down on the opponent's side. They're ahead in kills. We have Jimmy doing a fair amount of good damage, and those auto attacks are just the thing. They should really take that fountain down, though. There's a little bit of a pet peeve when I see these fountains just sitting on the map for no reason. You really give your opponent another chance there. No power slide yet. ETC could also always, of course, dance, but they're trying to cut them off with that little flank. This is a 5 versus 4. But again, Balsa is actually attacked. Uther, oh my god, they actually keep him alive. Uther, first of all, with his stun to cover the retreat, and then the heals come through from both of the supports. And all of a sudden, it's an even fight on level 13 talents with nobody dying. Yeah, Chromie also dropping her own ult, and well, the horror abilities, most of them being used here, are starting to make their plays right now. With the attempt to, of course, go for the next objective, which has spawned topside by now. Who could be taken, but they're looking for the kill, and ETC is in trouble. Gets stunned out quite a bit by Nubarak, but still fine. The cocoon is back to business and already utilized from a Nubarak. But can they get Uther here? Richu gets a stun out, tries to move away. We still have that little fight between Dainu and Defsio as Tracer and Chromie go up against each other. But Meme Theme has trouble getting a kill in right now. They're really struggling with this a little bit. So everybody else is currently jumping all the way up towards the top, trying to make the plays there. And with that in particular, Balsa has now an opportunity to get a slight lead for them on the objective. Blue team doesn't give a shit. They're pushing to the bottom of the map. They're just saying, hey, Nubarak spawned beetles. They soak tower shots. Let's try and be a bit aggressive here. It's kind of interesting that they're actually trying for a bit more of a macro play than the opponent, because I don't think that they can pull that off. They're literally going up against the global here, and Riot could be set up topside at any point. And we already have at least a few of the heroes trying to go for the additional items. Bibo at the top, trying to get the kill against Balsa, doesn't get that. And by now, we have Rexa himself in trouble. But at the bottom of the map, the chase is ongoing, and they actually push him behind the fort, trying to get the kill as they are running towards the keep. So this thing is all over the place right now. The fort is falling, but the item has been taken, so that gives an advantage. And they're finally also starting to get headway here. There is an early level 16 for them compared to what Meme Theme can pull off, so that talent advantage is going to give them a lot. But the 4-man is just saying, we're going to push, and the Fruit Fly goes down. Shitwing gets eliminated. And they're trying to go for Chromie too. There's the timeout right there as they're hoping for the kill. Defsio moves away, but someone has to come down and help out with the defense, because level 16 or no level 16, it doesn't really matter. You need to make sure that you're not going to lose your keep, or you're going to be in a lot of trouble in the long run. Especially on the third objective. There will be no fountain for the red team to do anything about all of this. Pain and Red has now been taken for Jimmy too. Rexa actually the one who holds the top, since the entire team had to move down to defend here. This is a bit of a weird angle, honestly. Meme Theme has a pretty interesting approach there. That 4-man setup that they had at the top lane forced the red team to come down, and the Polish players are now trying to move back topside to get that particular objective. Epic Enter has now also been claimed on level 16 for Nubarak, since it creates an epic stun once that he jumps into the backline. Great naming here by Blizzard. Fantastic. And, well, there we go. But at this point, Meme Theme is actually doing them the favor of joining up into the team fight. I mean, they are pretty heavily ahead with that, so that could actually work out right now. But it's a bit of a weird game, and losing that bottom fort is definitely a problem. But who takes the... And it gave them level 16. I mean, it's one of the main reasons why they went for that push. Take the fort down, put pressure onto the key, but also gain experience so that you don't have to fight topside with a talent disadvantage. And it worked out for them. And now they... Oh, nice! The setup against ETC, and he's kept alive, and he makes them dance! The double support fully working out for them here. And they get the kill against the Nubarak too. The pest control is in the house, and they are dropping the damage on Dainu. The auto attacks, yeah, can't dodge those. Balsa needs to just push back and go to the fountain, which he does immediately, but it's still a 5 versus 4. And this is just great for the Polish team. Yeah, they are doing a fantastic job with this. Keeping ETC alive wasn't easy, but they were able, with the 2 supports, just drop the heals continuously. And now in a 5 versus 4, it's a completely different story. And they're trying to go for the kill against Malfuri, and he's already out of mana. There's no way he's going to get out of this one. He's down, and still the save on Jimmy, as the entire time we have Dainu trying to drop Reyna, but it doesn't work. And there is nothing that is going to stop the red team from grabbing another protector for themselves. Benediction on level 16 allows Uther obviously also to get the double stuns in now. Seems like Tracer's actually thinking about stealing the item away at the bottom of the map, so that's not too bad. But let's see what's gonna happen topside. First of all, they can take the fort down if they want, but they also have to consider that at the bottom of the map they lost the fort, lost the fountain, so they might need to go down there to do the same to their opponent. Tracer, yeah. Brightwing and Uther, that's too much CC to face off against the two of them alone. So they steal the item away. There's still an attempt to get a kill against Uther, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to work out for them, especially since Uther still has the Divine Storm. So they have to move back. And since nobody gives a shit about the Protector, Polaki just said, like, you know what? If you don't care about the defense, then screw you. We are going to take your keep. So all of a sudden the keep is down, and what? They go for the core? Alright. Didn't see this on this level. Level 2 Protector is already starting to core here. That's an interesting one. Yeah, the defense was a bit too late. The portals got interrupted. And now that they're finally here, it might already be too late. Jimmy is down, but it seems like the core is down too, and that is game. Meme Theme overplayed their hands, and the red team capitalized on it. GG, as Hoey Polaki gets game number 1 and takes the lead in the best of 3 series in Division 1. Game number 2, Ultralisk for the meme theme now on Maiev as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. Kelvin on Mal'Ganis, Dino on Liming, we have Cockroach on Uther, and Nox on Deckard Cain. Yeah, they're really starting to go into these double support Uther style games. We don't really see that happening on the highest level of play yet, but Division 1 definitely likes it, especially the Polish team. And I think one of the reasons we have Uther now on the side of meme theme is also that they, well, one of the reasons is that they try to pick it away here, because this is a strat that Hopeluki or the other teams that team names they had in the past has done a few times with very limited success, I might add, but they won the last game. The Wilkie on ETC, Dylan Oriel, we have Balsa on Vala, Richu on Blaze, and Devsio is playing Hanzo in the second game of the best of 3. So let's see if they can make this a quick and clean 2-0. Arrow build obviously for Vala. Still one of the strongest, if not the strongest build that you can possibly play. Especially if you have the Immortal in mind, and of course there's nothing better than the Arrow build. We've seen a couple of hybrid builds, or like multi-shot builds. You know, not really all that many to be honest. Usually when you pick Avala here, it's all about the Arrow and Monster Hunter on level 1. But in addition to that, we also have Hanzo, so he can Hanzo the Immortal pretty quickly. Uther is indeed the side laner right now for them. And, well, with that we also have the Ming play on the other side. It's a really good poke that they're going to have here one way or another. Already a little bit of a sleep setup, and this is actually, I was just about to say dangerous as Hanzo dies. For very obvious reasons. I mean, you can really start the entire setup with Mal'Ganis, for example, who comes in with a Nightcore, pushes everybody, well, puts everybody to sleep. Deckard Cain follows up. That can be even worse after level 10, and then you have Li Ming just sitting. But first of all, you can also like follow it up with Maiev. But Li Ming is just sitting there and saying, like, oh my god, look at that, so many bullseyes everywhere. Let's just go straight in and hit one shot after another and take them down. So with the early kill against Hanzo, they get a bit of momentum at the bottom of the map. There's a big rotation topside. That's a little bit too much to just go for the camp. So they are really looking to get a kill apparently. But Cockroach realizes it and immediately moves back. But with 3 heroes going for the camp, it also means that these two are going to have a tough time defending the bot lane. So that's actually already the first tower destroyed. And I'm pretty sure they're going to go for more. Yeah, that's a kill again, or that could be a kill against Oriel. Li Ming doesn't have the cooldown ready though, unfortunately for her. But the lockdown showed you pretty clearly what we can expect from this game when it comes to strategies from Meme Team. And they're trying it again, they're going for Balsa here. That might actually be, oh, nice whip. Whipped through the fort pretty much. Nicely done, and all of a sudden Ultralisk himself is in trouble, especially since there's a flank coming their way too. The top players obviously realized that the bottom lane was in trouble, so they started the rotation. But the wall is still completely broken through, and Uther has now an easy time defending up here, because the opponent had to move towards the bottom. So, the red team is starting to... I mean, they're struggling a little bit with these rotations. The blue team is doing a good job in the early game. They have now also Orb on level 4 for Li Ming, as we usually see here on Battlefield of Eternity these days. Bill Q is still sitting a little bit far out, wants to double check what's happening here. But we also have, towards the right side now, Camp taken as well. It's a pretty normal start for them, with a bit of a lead and experience for Meme Theme. They're obviously interested to win this one so that they can force game 3. And their combo is a lot better, I'd say. Double support is always a little bit weird. In this case, we don't have it with a sustainable damage dealer, but still, it's a little bit more... again, Enuburak just caters to a certain playstyle, and I don't really think that it was a great choice for them on the last map, and it didn't really work out with Tracer either, because there was just too much CC against her, and the red team did a really good job just controlling them the entire time. So, either way, we have them starting to go for the objective. Yeah, oh, what a setup! A great kill against Vala. Devzio barely survives, nearly gets killed by Li Ming on the second attempt here. Dainu came through and was trying to get a few missiles connected, and was barely not able to take him down. But since Uther is still giving them some experience at the top side, since he's pushing out another wave, that also means that an early level 7 is not out of the question for Meme Theme. That would be an additional advantage for them. Maiev with the Wall of the Wardens jumps out there, so no problem for her. But it's getting a little bit nasty right now. There's the attack. Now, they haven't done a lot around the objective yet, but there's the level 7, and with Calamity they have another damage source too. Calamity just like talent, of course, on the hero. Oh, and ETC is in trouble, and quite a bit of that. And the guy can't even move. There's a stun, then he gets put to sleep. They're trying to save him, but that ain't happening. Down goes the cow, and with 3 kills against 0 and nearly an entire level lead over the Polish team, Meme Theme is looking pretty solid now. Okay, so can they take the objectives though? Because so far they haven't really focused on it a lot. They're just pushing. I mean, just look at the setup here. They're not really going for the objective. They're just trying to push the lanes a little bit more. They're trying to make sure that they're getting as much damage at the bottom of the map as they can. And they always rotate for a defensive position to ensure that they can also get more kills and damage. But they're not really making a play for the opponent's Immortal. At least not yet. Finally, we have Maiev starting to go over to the point, and Cockroach is coming in too. They don't have the same amount of wave clear as their opponent though, so that's a little bit of an issue that they have to deal with here. And the halftime show actually ends up in favor of the red team. So the Polish players still with the continuous poke through Hanzo, as he tries to connect the scatter shots there. They have level 7 by now as well, so at least on the talent side there's no advantage anymore for the blue team. When comes the kill against Vala though, that's exactly the setup that they want. Controlling the choke points is exactly what they can do with this setup. First Mal'Ganis with the sleep, the follow-up from Uther and from Deckard Cain, Maiev even, and Li Ming with combo after combo after combo. And once those resets come calling, they're obviously in a much better position too. But they don't have the same amount of damage on the Immortal. That's a big problem with that particular composition here. You don't really... You're not winning a race against the Immortal. It's not happening. Red team will always have more Immortal pressure, so you need to go for the team fights and really lock those down. And that they do. I mean, they really put in the pressure. But Mal'Ganis is finally eliminated. Blue team is about to lose this one, and yeah, well, they get the kill, they get the reset. Can they get a little bit more? They're looking maybe even for Auriel here. Oh my god, look at Vala! Bolsa has no hit points whatsoever. If they get anybody in here, they could get the kill, but it seems like the Immortal will be taken by Polaki. Yeah, and with that, 5 kills against 1, bad level 10. It's really close, and if they get it now before the Immortal comes in, they should be able to easily defend here. I mean, there's absolutely no way, like none, that the red team is able to pick up level 10 abilities for their push here. So they're not even bothering too much, they're instead moving towards the top side. But there's 3 heroes already present to defend, so this is not going to be as much damage as they're hoping for. Ultralisk is already shredding through this Immortal. That's not going to do too much. There's level 10 abilities. Divine Shield this time on Uther, so no stuns here. At the bottom of the map, Blaze, I don't really think that's going to have a big problem, but since all of a sudden we have Maiev solo defending here, that thing might actually get a little bit more than I initially thought. They might be able to take down that fort a lot more. They have it at 50% actually. But it hasn't fallen. And now it's level 10 versus level 10 any second. Maiev has also rotated since Blaze was starting to make his way towards the top lane. But yeah, damage output right now, 19,000 for Li Ming, and she has to deliver. Maiev is also sitting at 18k, so it isn't bad either. Especially since it matches the damage output of the top damage for the red team side, Vala. But here comes the setup with a cage. Uldris jumps out, and the mosh pit gets interrupted right away. Mosh pit interrupt. Maiev with the Divine Shield gets a bit more damage out as she's trying to get the AoE through. They're all still looking at that top camp, trying to claim it. But it's still fairly even. I mean, again, the kill count is obviously in favor of Meme Theme. And if you look at the experience, they have an advantage there too. But the game has not really started to snowball just yet. One fight and you're back to business with this. So it's still even talents. There's no talent advantage as they're heading into those fights. And with the next objective coming up, there might be level 13 at some point. That could be a concern. But generally speaking, a lot of the fights still look fairly even. It's more so the ones where they get a lockdown against any isolated hero on the map that are a big problem. So already, down at the bottom of the map, that's a big push now. Okay, so they're gonna try and make their play right there. And that's gonna be a fort. Where is it? Well, the Ming comes in from the side. Bunker's already on the ground. They're really trying to burn this one down just as the Immortal spawns, and they should be able to get it. Dino nearly dies. Is able to move away though, and Balsa still aims for the fort. But he doesn't get the final hit in. It's literally one hit that they need, but look at the setup. The old man comes in, and the kill against Vala, followed by another one against ETC and Blaze. It's a triple, baby. All three down. Hanzo at the top is trying to do things. And now with 8 kills against 1, I mean, he at least gets the fountain destroyed, so that's a big one. But they are immediately pushing, ignoring the objective again. Going straight down to the bot lane and try to go for the fort here. And they're also going for Hanzo at the top. Hui Polaki at this point is starting to struggle a bit more. I mean, they're not getting any kills here. Devsio's trying to rush away, but that's a kill against Hanzo. Uther comes in and drops him. 13 against 11 now. That's a talent advantage. That's a fort that's destroyed. Still, red team, much better damage against the Immortal. But that's obviously something that Meme Theme is well aware of. So they're immediately making their way over for the defensive posture after the halftime show. In terms of actual damage, we're looking at 23,000 for Hanzo, but just look at Li Ming, 27k. Maiev too, on 25,000. And they're actually starting to get some serious damage in themselves. Vala moves towards the top, so with the repeating arrow and Monster Hunter, she's going to get a lot of damage in here. But they might just be able to win this one. Hanzo comes in too, and that's where the race really gets tricky. Yeah, they're going to lose another Immortal. But does it really matter? Because these Immortals don't have a lot of hit... well, they have the hit points, but they don't have the shield. And as long as those team fights keep ending in favor of Meme Theme, it's going to be fine. Especially since in the later stages of the game, the death timers are all going to be increased. There's the setup against Devsio. Nearly takes Hanzo down. He's trying to get some additional damage in. Good mosh pit from ETC. And that's the end of Maiev. No interrupt this time. Nicely done. Maybe the red team can do a bit more here after all. And talking about doing more, topside is already getting crushed. I mean, that's the Shaman camp there that did a lot of work. Doesn't even have to be the Immortal that takes the fort down. That one would have fallen either way. 9 kills against 2. No level 13 talent just yet, but Polish team doesn't give a shit about that. Go straight to the bottom, finally drop the fort here too. So now they're ahead in... well, they're still behind experience, but they're ahead in structures. And that's actually worth quite a bit here. So they might still be able to turn this around with a few kills and make this a 2-0. The initial start for Meme Theme was pretty strong, but their inability to win objectives against the opponent is now starting to slowly turn against them. Taking some damage at the top side, and now at the bottom of the map with another camp taken. Siphoning arrow for Vala, 13 stacks on the level 4, so she's getting a bit closer with that. And still the rotation here. as we have Meme Theme trying, of course, to go for another setup. I mean, Meme Theme is trying to do two things. They want level 16 for the next objective, and they also want another setup where they can just go in with either Deckard Cain and his ult, or maybe with Mal'Ganis, and then set something up for Maiev and Li Ming so they can get the kills there. But right now, the red team is actually a bit more dominant, because Meme Theme is falling back since they're saying, guys, don't go into a stupid battle now. We want to get level 16 first. We're still ahead in experience, so let's exploit that. But Uther gets a bit caught here. He's trying to escape, has the Divine Shield, and uses it just in time as the attempt from Blaze fails to lock him down with the jet propulsion. But without level 16, they didn't really intend to fight here, but now that at least the arrow is already eliminated as an heroic ability, they're starting to make a bit of a play. Li Ming is already rotating towards the bottom of the map, so clearly indicating that she wants to get the experience for the team here. Gonna try and make that happen. And there we go. Immortal is spawning again, but the fight is there. No level 16 yet. Uther with the attempt, and they're going for Vala. Oh, and they get the kill. What a clutch kill. Just as the bunker comes through. They were really locking her into the corner here. Nicely done by them. Now they have level 16 talents just as the Immortal is about to spawn. So that's another nice setup for Meme Theme to maybe go into objective number 3. And again, objectives are difficult for them. This is why they are focusing on team fights and lane push this heavily. From the beginning, that lineup that they're running here was not designed to win Immortal fights. It was designed to go in team fights and win those and try and push these lanes a little bit. And they're immediately moving on to the defensive position again. They zone out, allow Li Ming to get some damage over there. It's a 5 versus 5, but no level 16 talents for the Polish team, and that's a problem. Dino has to be careful here. They're trying to force that fight. Again, their whole spiel here is to try and take and win those team fights. And as the game prolongs, that means that also the death timers are increasing if they can get these kills. But they have to. Nice stun into the Immortal stun. And the end of Mal'Ganis. Moshpit gets interrupted, but it's a 4 versus 5 now. Talent advantage or no talent advantage, it doesn't really matter anymore. Unless they can get a quick kill with a good play from Li Ming, that's going to be a problem. And Vala nearly fell for that. Okay, there's another sleep setup from Nox, but this time nothing is hit by it. Bunker was already on the ground too. So they're trying to buy as much time as they can, and that is obviously also going to help this bottom push that we're seeing here. Shaman plus Catapult, that's nothing to sneeze at. That can actually just ruin your lane. So here, we have the halftime show taken. And the kill against Hanzo. Shouldn't they make it happen? It's a 4 versus 5 and they get the double kill. Hanzo is down, Li Ming with a place. And now they go for the defense again. Balsa already dropped another double arrow and is now trying to escape here. With 2 heroes down, the red team rotates bot side immediately in an attempt to at least save the key, which they do. But Mal'Ganis is now also back to business, deals with the catapults and puts them with 5 men back on the map. And this might be the first Immortal that they're winning. But the poke is still there. Balsa is coming in with arrow after arrow. And you can tell that even in the situation that they're at, it's not an easy victory. Look at this. The clear on the Immortal is nearly non-existent for Meme Team. They don't have a lot. Li Ming is great on this map because she can always put the outside poke in. But if you compare the rate of fire that she can push out onto the Immortal with Vala, with an arrow build or a Hanzo, then she obviously falls short. She's great for the poke, she's great for these stalemates, but in this setup she is struggling. At least because she also has to be part of the actual damage setup that is trying to win the team fights. But now they are attempting to at least take the fort down, and just look at this. Ultralisk comes in, wants the cage, doesn't get it right away, but is able to drop Wilq a little bit back. Oh, Dino's oh wow, that was a good one. Hand of Freedom being used to give Dino a little bit of wiggle room here. Seething Hatred on 16, by the way, for Vala. So she gets a bit out of that too, and they're trying to go for another kill. Wilq is still sitting tight, is nearly locked down again, and the Immortal is still in play. Went through the fort like hot butter through cheese and is now making his way through the top gate in an attempt to reach the keep itself. 12 kills against 3. Kill count is where they excel. And a 2-level lead now on top of that, of course. Ultralisk has to be really careful here. But in comes the play. Maiev again with a cage, and this is 3 heroes that get connected. Bunker is saving it for now, but Hanzo is already dead, and in comes Deckard Cain. The old man once again hit him with a stick and hit him hard. 3 down. Vala and Oriel both died. And now the top keep is wide open. 15 kills against 3. And the setup is working for Meme Theme. They're doing their thing right here. Trying to go through that tower. Make sure the catapult joins the fun as well. The heroes are down for another 20-25 seconds. And that is all that they need. They will definitely take the keep here. Are they going to try and take more though? It's a little bit questionable with 19.5 on the board. They might just go for level 20 now and play around the next objective. But they could, for example, still steal this one away, which apparently they don't intend to do. But there's more camps on the map they can definitely make a play for. And that's what they're doing. Top side, there's the attack. Okay, Ultralisk is working with the rest of them, but needs also a little bit of mana. Just preps everything for the next setup. They're also moving down to the bottom of the map since the double catapult is pushing this out. And this is actually pretty awesome. So right now, if you look at it, 60,000 damage on Li Ming, who hasn't died yet once in this game. Maiev on 35k. Vala and Hanzo just sitting around 40,000 for Hoyi Polaki. And they are trying to force the fight before level 20. And they might... Oh, the arrow! Does not connect. They're trying to get the kill against Mal'Ganis, but they can't. That arrow could have ruined his day. But talking about ruining days, look at that setup. All of a sudden, Blaze is in trouble. Silence too drops the bunker as he comes out of it, but Storm Talons are already taken by Meme Theme, at least by 3 of the 5 heroes, and they're looking for the kill here. They can't get it. At least the camp got stolen away, but this is bad news for the red team. They're trying to take the Immortal as quickly as they can, and they really have to. Because if they lose this one, then it's lights out, and Li Ming is already moving in deep. Yeah, and here's... Oh, the 4-man mosh pit! Are you kidding me? The big play for Will Q. He gets the lockdown. They take Maiev apart. But here's still the continuation of the fight with level 20 talents. What a mosh. Oh my god, Oriel. She goes down and it's a 4 versus 4 all of a sudden. And Dino is just dropping their hammer. Needs mana though and immediately rushes away to get exactly that. Top lane is under massive pressure because that keep is going to fall if nobody takes care of it. And the blue team doesn't even go for aggression at the Immortal because they know that they can't match the opponent's pressure on the setup, so they need to defend. It's all they can do. If they walk away from this one, then Hanzo and Vala are gonna burn it down within seconds. And talking about burning things down, seems like Mal'Ganis gets burned down pretty quickly too. He gets the Divine Shield that keeps him alive, but that also means that Cockroach is in trouble. He's the only one who hasn't taken his level 20 yet because he's still gonna go into Redemption. In comes the sleep, and the kill against Hanzo. Hanzo just got eliminated. He gets dropped. Top lane is so far safe. The keep has taken a little bit of damage, but is only down to 50% as the rest of the team is looking more so towards the team fight. Moving straight in towards the Immortal again. Defensive posture. Maiev already moving top side. 17 kills against 4. There's the action once again. And they're still trying to take this one. But it's a 4 versus 5. That's a big problem right there. What a game right now. Game 2 again. Meme Theme wants game 3, but can they get there? That's the bigger question in this setup. And finally a little bit of damage with Maiev and Li Ming. That's what they're trying to do right now. 50-50 nearly. Defense is still in. The 2 of them slowly and steadily trying to burn it down, but that's the same thing that Blaze does on the other side. One oil spill after another. And he is getting the hit points reduced by quite a bit, but eventually this Immortal is going to be taken by Meme Theme. They grab it and have now the pressure to the bottom of the map. This is a problem though, because these are not going to get away. The thought was there, but there's not. The question is not, is someone going to die? The question is how many are going to die now. And dude, you are just on the wrong side of this battle. I'm sorry, but like that's not happening. Dyla goes down. And that's the end of Oriel, and now they're obviously going to attempt to do a little bit more here. Nice attempt to just go straight up for Hanzo. That hasn't really worked out yet. Immortal is at the bottom of the map. One keep is lost topside already. Keep that in mind. But this is trouble. And Blaze, they don't care too much about him. They're actually trying to threaten core. They're trying to threaten core, but that's not gonna work. Because the blue team is calling that immediately and is moving on to the core as is. So no matter what Blaze does here, he's not going to win this one. Big arrow being hit across the map. The Immortal is going to help out soon too, but the core is already getting dropped here. Arrow connects with 3. Mosh Pit as well! But there's not enough damage on the other side. The Immortal comes in, and this is game. It's a bit of a base race, but the blue team wins it handily. We are going into game number 3 in this series. GG, very well played. Game number 3, let's go baby! We have Infernal Shrines, our deciding map here in this Division 1 map, which is a best of 3, but it's Division 1. Ultralisk on ETC this time, Dino on Blaze, Kelvin with Kalthas, we have Cockroach on Karazim, and Nox on Malfurion. It's kind of interesting to see that they are more and more heading into these double supports, because it's really not mirrored at the top level play. So that Division 1 is that set of going into setups like this one is a little bit strange to me. And this one, Karazim, Malfurion, really? Karazim as a second one? We'll see how it works out, because for Hoi Polaki, we have the Wilkyu on Diablo, Bolts on Liming, Richu on Raxa, Dyla on Ana, and Defsio is playing Kira. Okay, I like the red team setup quite a bit more here. I mean, Liming is not really the traditional hero to immediately pick on this map, because during the fights on the objective you have a bit more of a hard time to get the ops connected, but then again you can connect them here. Kira, on the other hand, is the first victim in this fight. She goes down right away. Apparently they're trying a little bit to go with, I suppose, 7-sided strike and drop Diablo that way if he goes too deep. And at this point they might actually be able to get the first kill against him. Yep, that terror is not that terrifying, so he's already down. And let's see how that's gonna work out. But yeah, it's a little bit of a weird setup, because Karazim as a second support isn't really all that fantastic. They're going in this case now into the Iron Fists, but honestly, if your idea is to play a bruiser, then there are definitely much better choices than Karazim. So it's a little bit of a weird one. He's not really a fantastic support to begin with. Very rarely do you see him taken as a solo support for very good reason, and he doesn't add a lot in this role, in my opinion. There is, of course, things that you can try with the ult and certain combos there, but generally speaking, I think this is a bit of a weird one. We actually see a little bit of Karazim being played on the North American side on the higher level, but that's amongst other things also because some of the ex-HGC supports really enjoy playing the hero. So it's more that, and then, hey, this is a fantastic hero that we definitely need to bring to the table right now. So I'm curious to see how the combo works out, but I'm not really the biggest fan here. Liming, we have to watch out for her a bit, because again, normally she's not the damage you really want to take here, but with a nano boost you can of course still do a lot. And then we have Kira to boot as well. The early level 4 and the talent allows them to go straight in for the camp, and that's the little trick that you can push off here. You drop some spell onto this one, grant vision to the Khazras, and they attack it. They didn't stick around long enough to really drop the fountain, so that's a bit of an oversight. Could have definitely helped them. But we have 3 kills against 1. Slide doesn't connect with Kira. Gets pushed back. The root connects, and that might just be a kill, but nope. Cockroach has to fall back again immediately. Okay, so then again, when we're looking at the setup, so fatal wounds into ensnaring swing, definitely different from the build that we've seen used from Tai and others in the past year. But still, Ana going into the healing dart build, which has taken over after we for sometimes had the healing grenade being a priority for the hero. But that was of course a few patches ago, and it got reverted there as well. Top side is currently where Dino is doing his thing, just trying to push the lane out. Raxa is rotating for the red team, so that means that he's going to try and catch the experience at the top as quickly as he can. But we are also now looking at the first objective in the game, and Raxa actually joins this, which means that they're losing 1 experience wave at the top, whereas at least Blaze has still a chance to pick some up in the middle, but it also means it's a 5 versus 4 for a bit longer. Karazim gets attacked right away. Not jumping out just yet, and here in the backline, Kira is trying to get a kill, but she's a bit isolated and needs some assistance, and that's there. As we have also another wall stun against ETC. Wilkyu is trying to keep him in there. There's the power slide. They have to fall back 4 now. Liming trying to fire off as many shots as she possibly can there. Just trying to get a good angle at the rest of the opponent's team, but she needs level 7 to really be powerful here. Needs that Calamity, because that's the best guaranteed damage that she can push out in these fights for now. 21 against 21 stack. It is a really close battle on the first objective. Who's going to take the Punisher? They're going for Cockroach. The root on the ground. Nice setup against Kira. Depsio completes the level 1 and is able to move out. It seems like Malfurion won't be so lucky. Oh, what? 24, 8 HP. He got away and had 8 HP at times. Depsio, on the other hand, doesn't die either. Kira is still alive, doesn't fall. This is nuts. What an insane fight. I mean, honestly, that is just stupid. Arcane Punisher gets taken by Meme Team. The blue team is able to claim it, but the level 7 ends up in the hands of the red team a little bit earlier. Jump towards the top, and that might finally be the end of Kira. Finally, Kira is down, and Anna is gonna die too. Oh, yeah. There's the momentum swing. The pain train is coming as the blue team pushes through. No bait over the wall because the first jump was triggered there. Cooldown is back up, and finally it makes its move. So it's going to be at least an easy defense since they didn't have the full team at the bottom of the map. But damn, what a fight. Holy hell. And with that done, we now have also Manatic taken, of course. And we're looking at the first Talon level 7 with the Burn Flash here. A little bit of a camp focus still over here. Right now also the Healmonger taken in Calamity. That's going to be the important one throughout the rest of the game here for sure. You need to try and get the damage in on those Shrine fight. And again, that orb would have been fantastic if we connected, but as it turns out it didn't. Karazim is down though, taken apart by Liming here. They're still fighting for the camp, but the blue team claims it. Waltz is low, Liming moving away, gets another combo in though. Anna is dead, so is Liming, so is Kira. ETC is still alive. Holy shit. They actually take down 3. It looked for a long time as if the blue team would lose several heroes here, and then they are just going in and they are dropping their numbers. Now we're having 20,000 damage for Khaldor already. And at least on the numbers, Karazim isn't doing jack shit. This is one of the... Again, the hero can be really fun to play. And one of the cool things that he has when you go into the later stages is Cleansing Touch and 3 targets. So you actually are really good against a lot of CC and you're quite mobile to hunt targets down. He becomes a little bit better when you have an Abathar in your team too, because Abathar then supplies a big chunk of the damage and can obviously also benefit him directly through the increased attack speed. But if you just look at the numbers game right now, he has the lowest hero damage and his healing isn't all that fantastic either. Now there's of course a utility argument to be made in his favor, which I talked about a little bit, but so far he's not really adding all this much. Oh my god, what the fuck just happened? Oh, he just picked Combustion! Okay. Combustion, Twilight Dream, and 7-sided, and there's the setup. Yeah, 7-sided, as explained earlier. If you lock a target down, I think this is really the way they want to deal with Diablo. And they get the Diablo kill, they get the Kira kill, so they at least get that. That's one of the cool things about Karazim. If you get these isolation setups and then you can drop a full-on 7-sided strike, you're doing a great job. And the blue team is crushing now. 11 kills against 3. Level 10 abilities on both sides at this point. Diablo in trouble again, and he's gonna die once more. Oh, well, no, he's gonna die. He's definitely gonna die. Will Q is down, they don't get the counter kills. At 12 kills against 3 at this point, and it is problematic. Yep. Thought that the bot lane is going to fall. There's no talent advantage yet. It's important to point out because the next shrine is activating in 20 seconds. Level 13 is of course close, but not close enough to really be a big problem. I honestly don't know why the red team is just full on griefing at this point. I mean, they're literally running one after another into a 4-man here, so I'm not quite sure what the plan is. But if the idea is that you want to feed as much as you can before the next objective spawns, then they're succeeding completely. Now Rexa dies too. ETC at least has been taken down as he was pushed behind the gate, but still, it's a bit of a weird one. The red team would have lost that fort one way or another, and they just, yeah, nice, push Khaldor out of the stun circle. Obviously wanted to try go for Malfurion, but that play didn't work out at all. And now Balsa is also in trouble, got the nano boost, gets And he pushed the target out of it. I mean, Li Ming doesn't die, and Khaldor dies regardless, but there's definitely a little bit of asymmetry that is coming through now. Some people are either nervous or drunk, one of the two. Diablo gets immediately attacked. And even Ana can't keep him alive. So it's just like deaths all over the place. 15-5 now. Big lead in terms of kills for Meme Team, but that fight isn't over by any means. And Ana is just sitting there. Pew, pew, pew. Defzio comes in, wants the kill against Nox, gets locked down though, but everybody's low, and the kill against Malfurion. Balsa's running out of mana, and they get another kill against Blaze. So all of a sudden, the blue team is starting to get some serious kills in. I mean, again, this all happened without them having level 13 talents. And the red team is sticking around. Apparently, after they saw how successfully the red team was feeding earlier, the blue team is now saying, like, boys, we can do them much better than you. So they still have their heroes around, and I'm not sure why. Okay, they're starting to rotate away, because they really need to do that. There's no reason to poke from the outside. They don't have enough AoE. Even with Khaldor, it's just not happening. Not when your opponent completely controls the shrine like this. So the next objective will be taken by the Polish team. And there's also a couple of quest talents to consider. Mana Addict and Proc are soon going to be done. Good wall stun, 7-sided. No lockdown within the range, but Diablo is still very much alone here. Gets the Apocalypse out, dies, stuns against them, and at least the connect from Li Ming here. And that's the kill against Malfurion. That could turn it all here. But Defzio is low, and Karazim. Yeah, he comes in and delivers the final blow here. Punisher's already moving through. Ana is dead. 18 kills against 8. And the Punisher's having a little bit of a party here. Jumps in for the damage, but damn, this game is just all over the place right now. A little bit of a numbers game here. So at this point we have Karazim, thanks to the 7-sided strike, also gaining a bit more hero damage in. And that's an important thing to realize here. Most of the damage that Karazim still since then has dropped was actually because of the 7-sided strikes against Diablo. Outside of that, his damage output is not really all that fantastic, but he is now in a spot where he has taken, has overtaken not only ETC but also Malfurion on the damage numbers. And we have 34,000 for Li Ming and 39,000 for good old Kira. Kira in particular is just absolutely murdering here. It's all a control question. Karazim by now also with the 6th sense right there. Also the blinding speed. And of course level 16 could really do well for them. Yep, all about that utility. But for now, the fight at the bottom of the map. Camp is there taken. Khaldor is in trouble. And that should be a kill against him. Oh my god, he actually gets out. He actually gets away. And here comes the attack. Li Ming is down. And what a setup for the combustion for Blaze. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You lock them into a tight space and he's able to get it connected with nearly everyone here. What a play. 21 kills against 8. Nearly another kill against Kira, and the blue team is moving to the bottom of the map with 3 kills in total. They're just saying, alright boys, let's go and drop that keep. Or at least open the wall so that they can take it later. Yeah, right now they're making their play right here. And they open the wall up. That's all that they need to do for now. Next objective spawns topside. So that's another one. Let's see how this is going to work for them. Yep, there's it. Kira is down, by the way. Got isolated on the left side and taken apart. 22 kills against 8. Like, a lot of these kills against the red team should never have happened, to be absolutely honest. I'm coming back to that spot where they defended the bottom fort. I mean, I don't know if you can actually call that a defense. But that attempt to keep it in play and just feed individual heroes to the opponent was a pretty bad setup. Now, there is some hope for the red team. They are massively behind, of course, when it comes to kills, but if you just look at experience, they're right now on level 16. That means even talents with the opponent. They are actually ahead in minion experience, which means they did a better job soaking the lanes. So that's a big one for them. But is that enough? That's the question. They need kills and they need them now. There's the stun. They get a bit out of that. Phoenix is on the ground immediately. But that could be a kill, and it is against Li Ming. Li Ming down, and now it's up to Kira. Kira needs to come in and drop the damage here, and if she doesn't, then it is a disaster for the Polish team. 7-sided against an isolated Diablo. It doesn't get much better than that. Dibble's still alive for a little bit longer. Gets... what? He actually gets out. Are you kidding me? Kira, and then again, is also in trouble. And Anna is doing what she can. Anna is just sitting there. Heals, 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 heals. 6 days, Sunday. She is trying. But boy, is this getting rough here. She saved Diablo, but she can't do much more than that. There's still attacks happening. Karazim is getting attacked. But Wilq is also eating one 7-sided after another in this game. And Blaze isn't even here right now. He's moved into the middle of the map already to try and drop the fort. But top side, Li Ming is back to business and they could try and go for the fight. There's already the Boars. They're trying to go for ETC. And again, the setup doesn't work quite properly because the asymmetry between Diablo and Li Ming. But they still get the kill. It's not the setup they wanted, but they get the kill. And at the end of the day, it's results that matter. And that's what happens right there. They're also trying to get a lockdown. Feign Depth saves Rexa for just a moment. More damage coming through. Phoenix is back to business. 7-sided is ready as well, but Kelthas is locked in and gets dropped. 7-sided nearly takes down Wilq. Well, scratch the nearly. Karazim is actually proving to be quite successful against him. Which, again, is also, of course, partially the default of Diablo being hyper-aggressive here. But, as I said at the beginning of the game, I think this is one of the main reasons they picked the hero in the first place, because he doesn't offer that much more in this lineup. But if Diablo makes a quick approach and just charges in and is then alone, then Karazim 7-sided actually does a lot. They're still fighting at the top as Diablo is pushing out the bot lane. Level 20 talents are soon ready for meme theme, but the red team wants the objective. It's 22 against 15 stacks, and with 21 seconds on Kelthas, it's gonna take some time for him to come back, and that might just be enough to take the Punisher on the top lane. Okay. So right now, Dibbles in the mid lane. Oh, that's another death, isn't it? Yeah, 7... they drop everything. 7-sided, mosh pit. I don't think that the mosh was really needed here, but, well, they still went for it. Flash fire now. Flamethrower, the memes are real. And without level 20, there is, in my opinion... Well, you have only 4 heroes on the map and you don't have level 20. I would be surprised if they push with the Immortal. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. That would be a bit too much on the meme side. Well, they're trying. Alright. Let's see if they can actually pull it off. But this is a dangerous play that they make. This is a high risk that they're running. And yeah, this makes a little bit more sense. Ultralis nearly gets dropped as the Punisher. Does mad damage. But for now, we have 57,000 damage on Kira. Nearly top damage for her. It's Kelthas that has a little bit more in the setup. Camps are now the full focus. As top side, the Punisher is trying to break through the wall here. So they take the camp and they have to take it quickly. Even provide some vision on the other side. They do that, but I don't... Yeah, actually, they're going to take the fountain down. That's an important one. And now Diablo is back as well, but they don't have level 20 yet. Dino! Oh, the kill against Blaze! And Anna is also going to fall. Got pushed by ETC onto the wrong side of the fight. Had absolutely no chance to escape here. The lack of escape tools and of mobility tools in general is just a huge problem for her. They want level 20 and they're gonna get this. The impressive thing here is that this game isn't over, guys. This is seriously not over. You look at the kill count and you think like, yeah, that's a done deal. But you look at the map, and from a structure perspective, it's pretty even. Then once we're having level 20 talents ready for Hoi Polaki, that means, or Hui Polaki, however you pronounce that, that means that we're more or less playing a game on eye level. Which is actually kind of crazy if you think about it. With this many kills, it should have been able to destroy way more structures and get way farther ahead than they did. So, yeah, there's one level lead. That's it. It's a small stats advantage, but it's not really something that is going to play a massive role here. Kill command for Rexa comes through as the talent. Wave of Force gets upgraded as well for the Repulsion, Anna with the Nano Infusion and the Unleashed Potential. And Hellgate for Diablo. Yeah, we're ready. Next fight. Seriously, it's mid lane. Mid lane time. Both teams have already lost the fountain there. 18 souls only for Diablo. That's a bit of an issue. So he wants a bit more than that. But, yeah, let's check that out. The problem, again, one of the issues is really just a bit the damage output on the red team side. They have Kalthas for a lot of this, and I think they wanted to sub. Oh, interrupt immediately. They wanted to sub on the damage a little bit with combustion. I think that's one of the main reasons why they went for it. They just figured, hey, with the double support, we might not necessarily need bunker here. And here comes the damage, and it's actually a nice setup. Ana is trying to do what she can. There's a save for now, and Kira walks away. 7-sided strike does some work, but not enough, and here's the kill. 1 kill, looking for the second. This might actually be another object. Actually, there might be a top keep. There's a camp pushing through to already. If Vilq gets a connect, if Kira gets a connect, they could take down Kalthas, and they do. Kalthas is down 27 against 13 kills. And yeah, it's a damage question. 48,000 damage by Karazim, and again, his main tool is the 7-sided. Outside of that, he is having huge problems getting additional damage in. And the healing is not that crazy. So they have Kalthas, and a lot of that damage is just not on point. If they don't get the setup with Twilight Dream plus 7-sided, then they're in trouble. Now they're going for the core already. With 2 heroes down, they might even be able to make a play there. There's the kill against Malfurion, and that's a good one. 7-sided didn't do enough here. And all of a sudden, we could see the game end in favor of the Polish team. Guys, they are behind by 13 kills. Meme Team is nearly doubling their kill count, but look at this. They're going for it. They're going to take the core. This is game. Meme Team dominated for so long, but the series is taken by the Polish team in red as they're dropping the core on Infernal Shrines and secure themselves a 2-1 victory over Meme Team in the best of 3 series here in Division 1. GG and well played.